Yes, people, welcome back to another video. Yes, guys, pre-season is coming to a close. Pre-season is coming to a close. I'm closing it off with this game, Arsenal versus Manchester City match preview. Yes, guys, here Arsenal versus Manchester City. Arsenal versus Manchester City. We have the Community Shield final. Who is going to win a hefty contest between Arsenal versus Manchester City? One thing about this fixture is that every team would want to get a grip on the other. Like, for instance, now we have Arsenal would love to salvage a win against Manchester City. We have Manchester City, who on the other hand has a lot to prove under this manager in Maresca. So every team would like to prove something today. Every team would like to prove something today. Look at Maresca, for instance. Now he's the new manager. And, he wants to have that confidence going into the next season. He wants to get that confidence in that, okay, I have won over the champions. I've beaten one. I've beaten them. Now we'll move on to Arsenal on the other hand. Arsenal on the other hand, they are the Premier League winners. They won the Premier League for the first time in 22 years. They won the Premier League in 22 years, and they would love to defend that crown. And this Community Shield will be crucial for their confidence, for Arsenal's confidence. Now, this is a clash between first versus second in the Premier League. It is a clash between first versus second in the Premier League. And I fully back my team to win. I back Manchester City to win. Because I feel that we are in a better shape going into this season, and I just feel like Manchester City can cause a win here. Manchester City but this is still a friendly game, so I don't want to get my head too up, because I feel like this game is going to show a real identity of what you can prove in the latter stages of the season. We saw it in a couple of preseason. Arsenal weren't that great in a couple of seasons. Arsenal went great in a couple of preseason games rather. They weren't that great. Look at the match against Borussia Dortmund, for instance. Look at the game against Como. They didn't really do that well. Look at the game against before Dortmund. What was the team? Yeah, so they didn't have the great preseason. And us, we've done very well at the preseason. We won K-League All-Stars. We won K-League All-Stars. We won Inter Milan. We won this Atletico Madrid, and now we're coming to the Community Shield final to beat Arsenal. And I fully believe, and I fully expect this, we can pull it off. Manchester City can pull off. I wouldn't say it's a shock, but we can win this. We can win this preseason game. Because why can't we win the preseason game? Why? Because Arsenal are the champions. That doesn't make Arsenal unbeatable or whatever. It's still a cup competition, and there's still a lot to prove. Now, for Maresca, I fully expect him to go big on this lineup. I fully expect Enzo Maresca to do to put a strong starting 11. I fully expect to give a strong starting 11 of one of the best squad. I know some players just returned from the World Cup might not be sharp. Some players just returned from the World Cup might not be, amazing, that came off the bat. But I fully expect Maresca to give us one of our best players on that pitch today. So I'm looking forward. I'm very excited for this game. I'm very excited for this game. There's a lot to be excited about, considering the fact that this is Enzo Maresca's real test as the Manchester City manager, and I would love for confidence sake or for confidence wise, I would love to get this win over Mikel Arteta's men. It will give him that, that leg, that confidence that, okay, I've beaten Arsenal, I can go into the season challenge for the league. But Arsenal is a bigger boost for them because they're coming back of a title win. And they will love to defend their title again. And they will love to win their title again. So this is going to be a big test for Arteta's and Maresca. It's a really big test for them. So the fact that it's pre-season, that doesn't mean that, okay, that this is not a preview of what you're going to see in the season. This is definitely, for me, what an identity. This is something you believe to see in the season. The 4 matches Manchester City have, these were making it our 4th matches. They are not just for nothing. We can't just say it's just pre-season, so nothing of that sort is going to happen in the real season. Do you understand where I'm coming from? So this will give me an head start on the vision of what I'm going to see in the season. This will somehow give me an identity of what I'm going to see this season. And if Manchester City can pull this thing off, it will really give me a confidence boost as well. But as I was saying, I'm looking forward to this game. I'm looking forward to this game. I hope Manchester City can win, because I believe that Manchester City can win, because I think we have a better attack than Arsenal's attack. The midfield, if Rodri leaves, I'll give it to Arsenal's midfield. Anderson and Bouaddi is not going to be enough in it. So if Rodri leaves, I would say Manchester City, Arsenal has a better midfield, but the attack, we clear Arsenal for attack. I fully believe that Arsenal's attack I wouldn't say they're bad, but they need signings on that wing. That winger market is looking dark right now. I cannot lie, that winger market is looking absolutely dark. But the defense, I'll give Arsenal's defense, I'll give Arsenal the midfield. Pending if Rodri leaves and goes to a top club. But if Rodri stays, Rodri and Anderson double pivot is better than that midfield of Arsenal's, I believe. So yeah, the Rodri situation is getting weird now. Apparently the 3rd bid has been rejected. Yes, the 3rd bid has been rejected for Rodri. Manchester City wants 70 million euros to 80 million euros pound for Rodri. Yeah, it's been going on for a while now. I'm fully expecting this transfer to get done any moment from now, because I'm getting too in a haste. We need to get this Bouaddi. Apparently, I hear to report online that apparently Harry Bouaddi won't get signed until Rodri has left for Barcelona. So pending whether Rodri leaves to go to Barcelona depends highly on whether this deal gets done quickly. And me, I'm not going to lie, I'm like, why is the deal not getting done yet? What's taking Barca so long? Because the more I wait, the more I question this move. The more I wait, the more I question this transfer and this possibility. Barca, hey, what are you sleeping on? Pay the money and get your player. Barcelona needs to pay up or they don't get Rodri. It's as simple as that. I'm not going to sit here and force anybody to say I don't want Rodri. My stance has always been like this. If a player doesn't want to be in this football club, they can get the hell out of this football club. Like, if a player don't want to be here, they can leave. I ain't forcing them. I'm not Manchester City. We're a club that has always been built on when we don't want to keep a certain player, the player can move. That we're not really that asked. Do you understand? And apparently, I have more news on Enzo Fernandez. Manchester City still remain. They're still very interested. Maybe if Manchester City bid 120 million euros, maybe Chelsea will have still considered that transfer, even though Manchester City has passed their deadline. In case you guys didn't know, Chelsea put Friday 5 p.m. deadline for Enzo Fernandez. So basically what they said is that if you don't pay this amount of money at 5 p.m. UK time on a Friday, Enzo Fernandez is not going anywhere. So Manchester City, according to reports from Fabrizio Romano, which is weird because according to some reports from Fabrizio Romano, he said no offers has been from 120 million euros rather, that no offer has been seen, has been yet and received by Chelsea. Whereas I'm hearing multiple sources from Argentina that Manchester City are set to bid 102 million euros, 102 million pounds, which is approximately 120 million euros in pounds. So Manchester City are set to bid that. But according to Fabrizio Romano, which I find weird, is that he said no offers has been received there. Whereas from the Argentina sources, they are saying that a bid has actually gone in. So maybe Fabrizio Romano has not seen anything from his side, but Manchester City are closely monitoring this Enzo Fernandez situation, which I find confusing and weird as well. And other news, apparently, in case you guys didn't know, Ruben Diaz and Erling Haaland are the new captains of Manchester City. Yes, guys, Erling Haaland, Ruben Diaz is going to be the captains for Manchester City, and I do believe Ruben Diaz is going to be our main captain, and maybe Haaland can be our vice captain, because maybe Ruben Diaz can be our captain, maybe Haaland can be our vice captain, or somewhat shape or form. Ruben Diaz, I feel like, is he a captain material though? Is Ruben Diaz really a captain material? You look at, I do believe, he has been longest. Phil Foden, apart from Phil Foden, I'll say Ruben Diaz has been has stayed in this football club for a very long time. Since 2020, Ruben Diaz has come into this football club. So I can understand where Manchester City are going with this captain's handband. And for Haaland, Haaland stays on the pitch the longest. He might motivate the players, he might motivate the teammates to keep going, because he's a captain, and that is what. Although Haaland is a goal scorer, so I can see why that might be a problem to some people. But yeah, Haaland and Ruben Diaz are Manchester City's captain for next season. Yeah, so, and for me, Phil Foden should be the captain. Now I'm thinking about it. But treating Phil Foden as if he's 19 years old. Phil Foden is not 19 years old. Phil Foden is 26 years old. He has stayed 18 years old. So why this club treating me like a kid? He has stayed in this football club the longest for like 9 to 10 years. He's a City fan. He grew up in the academy. So why can't Manchester City give Phil Foden that captain's armband? I'm getting confused. Phil Foden is probably getting paid 300 grand a week. And Phil Foden is not the captain of this football club. He has been here the longest. It just doesn't make sense to me. Phil Foden is not 19 years old. He's not 18 years old. Phil Foden is supposed to be that captain. Supposed to take us to the next step. City fan from the City Academy. So I feel like Phil Foden deserves to be the captain. Maybe he's not a captain material, maybe, but for me, I think just put him there. Don't ask him whether he wants to be a captain. Just put him on that captain armband. Put him there. He deserves it, man. Yeah, and Savinho, apparently Tottenham are ready to spend 85 million euros on Savinho. Which is actually crazy for a player that doesn't have output. It's actually crazy. 85 million euros is actually crazy for a player who lacks that output. Who lacks the output. And, Savinho is a good player. He's good on the eye. He can beat his man. He's a good dribbler. But that end product is lacking. Huge. Like, Savinho, you don't understand. The boy can't shoot. It's like his foot hurts anytime he wants to shoot, which is something I find crazy. Anytime Savinho wants to shoot, I legit think his foot has gone earth. His foot is hurt anytime he wants to shoot. The problem now is that I think a lot of these transfers are getting done, but the domino needs to fall through. So I think a lot of these transfers are getting done, but the domino needs to fall in place. For instance, now Ferran Torres is leaving Barcelona. Going to PSG. So that opens up space for Rodri to come to Barcelona. Rodri leaves Manchester City. Man City can get Bouaddi for like 85 million euros. So that's a domino right there. That is a domino. If Reinder's gone, me might go for Enzo Fernandez. Do I like the player? I've said it numerous times. I do not like Enzo Fernandez as a person, but he is a good footballer though. I cannot take anything away from his footballing ability. Enzo Fernandez is a good footballer and I really rate him. Scoring clutch goals, like the goals against Argentina, versus England, the last minute equalizer versus Manchester City at the Etihad, the goal in the semi-final. And I saw a video of Chelsea fans booing him. Chelsea fans booing Enzo Fernandez. And that's a bit of a disgrace. I'm not going to lie. Enzo Fernandez has given everything to that football club. Enzo Fernandez has given everything to the badge. And you guys are booing him because he wants to force a move. All he said was that Real Madrid, he would love to play against Real Madrid. This is me reacting to the Enzo Fernandez situation. But I don't understand why he got booed yesterday's game against Real Sociedad. In case you guys didn't know, Enzo Fernandez was booed even before he was subbed. When they were calling names of players, Enzo Fernandez, they were appeared. The Stamford Bridge were just booing him like he committed a suicide or what. So I think it's a bit of a disgrace from Chelsea fans because I'm confused and I'm shocked why Chelsea fans have turned on this player. You know, he has given everything for this badge and you guys are booing him off. I think that's a disgrace, personally. You know, he just said he would love to play in Madrid one day and apparently he's twerking. I understand he's twerking for his club. But, geez man, the amount of goals and clutch moments this brother has given you guys. But, for me, I don't like him as a person. I think he's a racist. I think he's racism. You know, he's racist, number one. He was twerking for Real Madrid and that Argentina-England game after he held up one sign. I don't know the sign again, but all these things equate to why I don't like Enzo Fernandez as a person. But as a footballer, would I take him 100%? I saw his stats the other day. His stats are looking pretty good. I'm never going to lie. His stats are looking insane. Like, Enzo Fernandez stats are looking very, very good. And yeah, that's my latest. And if Rodri goes, I will be releasing a video. I'll be releasing a video on what Rodri has done for this football club, what Rodri has offered us on and off the pitch, about how good he is as a person. I'll be releasing a video highlighting Rodri's stay at Manchester City. So Haaland and Ruben Diaz are the new captains, and I'll be releasing a video on the post-match reaction that happened, Arsenal versus Manchester City Community Shield final. I will be releasing a video on that. I'll be releasing the post-match reaction on that, whether I'm happy, whether I'm angry. So Bouaddi deal is getting very, very close. Yeah, so that's been it. Please make sure you guys like and make sure you guys subscribe. Make sure you guys turn on post notification. And please, I'm trying to get to 100. I'm at 14 subscribers right now on YouTube. So please help me out. I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers. Please help me out on this channel. I've been Solomon and I'm out. Peace.